Welcome back to BVarsity Live. Zach Ewing and Trevor Horn here. Wrapping up the show here over the next 10 minutes. Only a few shows to go in the year. We got a busy sports week. CSUB baseball opens WAC tournament play here in about 10 minutes. They're playing North Dakota down in Arizona. Jeff Evans is at Bake Sports on Twitter. He'll have updates for you. We'll have a story in tomorrow's paper. He's down in Mesa. Trevor, you're going to swimming the next couple of days, and then the CIF Central Section track final Saturday night.
Sounds good to me.
We both got softball. Then I got baseball Friday and Saturday. It's that time of year. It's going to be an exciting deal. We also this week had the Central Section individual golf championships up in Porterville. And Tyler Burns of Centennial, who we had on BVarsity Live, is your section champ. He shot a 68, right?
Yep.
68 at River Island. Very impressive. And congratulations to Tyler. And also the second place guy, Jared Kinoshita, we had on the show last week. He was your area champ from Stockdale. And he had finished second place, but he had the shot of the day.
Oh, definitely. On the 9th hole, he was coming up. He was in the first group, and so here he is setting up. And it's a very unique shot because the way this pin is set up, you can't see the pin at all because of that vegetation. There's a lip going over it.
It's such a cool course.
It is a beautiful course up there in Porterville, or Smithsville, I think it is. So here it is. Ravenel gets it up, and as you can see, the ball comes down, and you can tell that it's a good placement, but you can't see it. So you got to you either got to walk or get on the cart, and you come around. I saw the marshal, and the marshal was pointing down to the hole. He's like, "We got an ace."
He doesn't react at all.
He doesn't even know, and he just comes up, and he's like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" And there it is, Kinoshita picking it up, and he just says, "All day." And it's just such a cool situation where a guy here in the Valley Championship gets a hole-in-one. And the funny thing is he shoots a 71, so the top two guys from the SWYL at the section championship. And Kinoshita lost his ball on the very first hole of the day with a double bogey and comes back and was 4 under par going into the back nine. Had a couple par misses there on like 14, 15 where he bogeyed a couple holes, but still shoots, and they're only 2 under par for the day.
I wonder if he had thought he might have lost another ball when he came over the berm.
Oh, no, you could tell. He knew that he shot it well. You know, his dad, mom, and sister were there, and they all kind of knew. The funny thing was, and so I leave that first group and stay in the clubhouse to check in and see how the other locals are coming in, and I caught back up with them about the 14th hole, and his dad, Butch, looks at me. He goes, "You know, Trev, I was trying to call friends and family, tell them what Jared did, and every single one was like, yeah, we got it. Don't worry about it. We saw it on BVarsity Live Instagram a while ago."
That's what I'm talking about. But you did just call him Rabanal, you know.
Rabanal?
You called Kinoshita Rabanal.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Sorry, Jared.
He can golf. See, he can do more than swim.
Yeah, Jared Kinoshita, congratulations. So they're both moving on to SoCal. 4 golfers in total heading down to Pasadena
Southern
on
Cal
Tuesday.
Regionals Thursday. Next Thursday is the Southern Cal Regionals, May the 28th. So that was Tuesday. We had baseball semifinals yesterday in D1 Centennial. Boy, they just got thumped by Clovis High. It happens, but it was a bad day for a bad game for them, and Clovis played really well and beat Centennial 9-0. And we talked about the other teams moving on. Garces Ridgeview, all Kern County final in D3. You have Golden Valley in D4 playing Firebaugh. Chavez tomorrow in D5 plays CVC, and McFarland in D6 plays Farmersville. And then today, this afternoon, we have softball finals and a couple of local teams in softball finals.
Let's go through the brackets right now, John, before we get to them. So we'll start off in D1. There you see number 1 seed Clovis moves on. They beat number 5 Bullard, who had beaten Centennial in 10 innings.
In 10 innings
in the quarterfinals to move on. So they win, and they will match up against Central, who... You know, really, I mean, if you look at the Central Section rankings the whole year, it's been Clovis and Central kind of all along the whole way.
Played, I think, 3 really good games. I want to say Central may have even beat Clovis 2 out of 3 times in the regular season.
So Central moves on after beating Hanford West. And then Redwood is the 1 seed. They beat Tulare Western, and they will play today at home against Madera, who beat El Diamante 3-0. In D3, here's Taft, a team that was outscored opponents in the SSL 217-3 in the 12 league games, and now they've had to get great pitching performances from Arizona Pilgrim, and we'll show something that is absolutely phenomenal in just a second. So they beat Dinuba in 8 innings, 1-0, and they'll play Liberty Banera Ranchers, who you said last week might be their biggest competition. You're right. This is a very good Hawks team up there.
And they were able to hold off Tehachapi in that semifinal. And Liberty Madera and Taft have now met in 3 consecutive section title games. The previous 2 in D4, both won by the Wildcats. They're going to try to make it a 3-peat today to send off that unbelievably good senior class in style. Arizona Pilgrim, Caitlin Emberson are the headliners.
John,
but that's
throw
just
that box score up real quick before we go to the rest of the. Zach, this is your
this is my scorebook.
Penmanship. But this is, I mean, look, that's almost perfection when you look at it. I mean, it is perfection through 6 innings. She hits a batter, but look at that, 18 Ks in 8 innings. You look at all those zeros.
Yeah. And the most amazing thing about it, Trevor, 18 Ks in 8 innings, you think, oh, man, she threw a lot of pitches. 91 pitches, really efficient. She struck the side out twice. You see there in the 5th inning and the 8th inning. And my little chicken scratch numbers under that are pitch counts. And she threw only 11 pitches to strike out the side in the 5th and 10 to strike out the side in the 8th.
Is that 53 to 19 strikeout to
strike? That's
to
53 strikes and 19 balls at that point in the game. And then at the end, you can see the number.
What is that 13-0 at the bottom?
That'd be strikeouts versus walks. And she ended up with 18 strikeouts, no walks, and the 1-hit batter. So, unbelievable performance by Arizona Pilgrim, and she'll take the circle again today.
Yep.
Liberty Madera, you'll be down in Taft. I'll be up in Wasco. Take a look at the D4 bracket, and this is going to be a good game. Now, Mission Oak is no ordinary 4 seed. They thumped the 5 seed Madera South, and then they beat up on the number 1 seed Selma, just cruising through the top half of this bracket, and they will meet in the final, the host team, Wasco, which took out Fresno High and then Fowler in a couple of home games. And the Tigers, very nice softball facility up there in Wasco. They're going to get to host this thing. D5, your final, Riverdale, making it in the top half, and then in the bottom half, it is Sierra Pacific, kind of the upstart there, the 7 seed, which got to host 2 High Desert League teams. That always helps when you're a 7 seed and you get to host, because the High Desert League teams are forced to go on the road, but they beat Rosemont and Kern Valley. And then I believe Orange Cove has already won the D6 title. And that final was on Tuesday. So that's your softball. And then we have track on Saturday night. That's the one thing we haven't talked about. But it's going to be a lot of fun for you to see Morgan Hill run the hurdles, Isaac Trevino the 800, Bryce Huggins in
Marcus Watkins
long
going
jump,
against Darius
Marcus
Smith.
Watkins and Darius Smith in the sprint. So, and that's just to name a few of these Kern County kids who are really expected to do well up there.
Yeah, and then got a story in Saturday's paper about 2 more athletes coming along in a long lineage of great throwers up at Shafter High, and Greg Richardson, Alyssa Klinger, and just. They're both tops in the Central section once again, and it just seems like every year it's a new name, but it's always Shafter. And so we'll have a story about that, and then kind of leading into how exciting this may be, where you have Darius Smith, who is a 1070 and, kind of off the mark when it comes to the state level, but, can he, up it up one more time, knowing that he gets one more chance at Buchanan where the rest of the state doesn't. And that's the biggest thing that we always talk about, is being able to kind of get used to it 2 weeks before the state meet there at Buchanan for the Valley title.
And another name while we're talking about throwers, Alicia Viveros of Liberty, expected to be a threat to be a state medalist and section champion for Liberty as well.
Chase Mears and Matt Smith on the opposite side in the discus.
Ridgeview, Chase Mears, and Bakersfield Christian's Matt Smith, who's been in here several times. If you could, I told you could only watch one event and you're blacked out from the rest on Saturday night. What do you pick? What event are you most looking forward to?
What is your basis? Is this off of my favorite event to watch overall, or
I'm talking specifically for this meet? If I tell you can only watch one event, boys or girls, what are you choosing?
I'm not going to pick Morgan because I'm going to
hold
that off.
Routes.
I'm going to hold those off for the state. One event that I want to watch. Can I do a tie?
No.
Okay. The 100.
The boys 100?
Yeah, because I just really like watching Marcus Watkins and Darius Smith go head to head.
Okay, and I'll let you give your second place in a minute, but I'm going to tell you what I would have picked, and I'm not going to be up there. I'll be in Visalia for the baseball. Boys 800. Was that going to be your second one? Yeah. See, that'd be my choice. I'm glad you chose the 100 because Isaac Trevino is going to make a run. I don't know if he'll make a run at the section record. That's cutting a lot of time. That'd be cutting more than a full second off of his best time, which is what is his best time? 150, 51? 151, 51. So it'd be cutting almost 2 seconds off of his best time because the section record is by his coach, Vondre Armour, who's in the 149s. But I want to see him run for it and see how Vondre reacts, whether it's here or at state, whether it's a state title, whether it's a record. I mean, I just think that's such a cool story.
The coach couldn't be happier about that.
And we're going to bring those guys in here in a couple of weeks for state track.
We'll have a full story about them too, and just Vondre's first season as head coach and having a guy who is moving on to Alabama, by the way. He is committed to Alabama, so that's interesting. So, yeah, we'll be up there on Saturday.
So that's state track. We got softball today, baseball tomorrow, swimming tomorrow, and track and field on Saturday. We got about 3 BVarsity lives left this year. For Trevor Horn, our thanks to the swimmers and to the Garces baseball team, our producers, Chris McCullough and John Farrell. I'm Zach Ewing. This has been BVarsity Live.
Bye-bye.